National 9 News, this is Nightline with Hugh Riminton.
The splendour and the sorrow as the royal family farewells the Queen Mother. A coastal town salutes a policeman ambushed and murdered. And Israel pushes on with West Bank offensive despite a limited pullback. Good evening. The final chapter tonight in Britain's farewell to the Queen Mother. Amid the sombre pageantry, the royal family's personal sorrow was inescapable. Inside Westminster Abbey, European royalty, heads of state and dignitaries. Outside, a host of ordinary people. Damien Ryan has our reports.
The day dawned cold and clear. Westminster Hall was finally closed to the public. Damien Ryan reporting for Nightline.
A packed church in Taree on the New South Wales north coast today saw the funeral of the murdered police constable Glenn McAnally. Family, friends and hundreds of fellow officers were told of a death that has had much wider implications across the state.
Constable McAnally's closest colleagues needed all their strength, physical and emotional, to carry their mate to in Taree. Adam Walters reporting for Nightline.
A 2.5-year-old autistic boy was today found unharmed after a night lost in rough country west of Melbourne. Kyle Morgan was found wandering on a neighbour's property and had an emotional reunion with his parents. Kyle's dad had found the farm gate open late yesterday and realised the toddler had got out. His disappearance prompted a full-scale search, mostly by volunteers from the local community. An exhausted but otherwise fit Kyle was later taken to hospital for observation. Israel continues to play a military and diplomatic game in the Middle East, beginning a withdrawal from 2 West Bank towns, while at the same time overrunning another Palestinian centre in their hunt for militants. The United States is trying to increase the pressure, with Secretary of State Colin Powell due in Israel later this week.
A limited withdrawal of Israeli troops from 2 towns far from the heart of the action was, according to the Americans, encouraging but not enough. Robert Penfold reporting for Nightline.
Ahead on Nightline, a new push for a 4-year term in federal parliament and an assassin's bomb in Afghanistan. Our federal politicians are showing increasing signs of wanting longer terms of office. Labor leader Simon Crean has already declared his support for 4-year parliamentary terms, and Liberal Party power brokers are confident the move will win backing from the party's federal council this weekend.
It's long been talked about. Now it seems there is a real prospect of bipartisan agreement to change the Constitution and allow federal governments to serve 4 years in office. Laurie Wilson reporting for Nightline.
A bomb has exploded in the Afghan city of Jalalabad, killing 4 people and injuring 54 others. Stands fragile interim government. It seems there is a purpose to the common cold after all. American researchers have found the cold virus could help in fighting cancer. A genetically engineered virus was injected into 35 volunteers whose colon cancer had spread to the liver. In many cases, the tumours shrank after the cold virus apparently recognised and destroyed cancer cells, leaving healthy ones unaffected. Meanwhile, scientists in Australia have isolated a gene which causes an inherited form of nerve damage. The discovery has allowed 5-month-old Gemma Cox to be born free of the disease, even though her father is a carrier.
Peter Cox has a genetic disease causing nerve damage to his feet and hands. Cheryl Taylor for Nightline.
After the break, the national weather and the latest finance and injury worries for Cathy Freeman ahead of the Commonwealth Games. To sport now, and Olympic champion Cathy Freeman will miss this week's Commonwealth Games selection trials with a stress injury to her hip. She has applied to be accepted onto the team through the selectors' discretionary powers, saying the injury itself is not a major problem.
I have no doubt whatsoever that I'm still going to be there on the start line in Manchester and trying to win.
The Games begin in late July. 2 players with the Melbourne Storm NRL team have been injured in a car smash near Geelong. Marty Turner and Michael Russo were on a trip to the surf when their car collided with a semi-trailer. Turner has a fractured rib, a ruptured spleen and severe concussion, while Russo has deep cuts to an elbow. Both men had to be cut from the car. In AFL news, West Coast forward Phil Matera has been cleared of a striking charge at the tribunal tonight. Matera was reported against Essendon forward Blake Caracella. In finance news, the share market closed 25 points weaker today, with the National Australia Bank dragging down the banking sector for a second day. News Corp also lost ground after Germany's debt-ridden Kirch Group filed for insolvency despite weeks of talks to try to secure a rescue package. Of the stocks closing in positive territory, Patrick Corporation added 37 cents, while Woodside Petroleum rose 19. Overseas, in Tokyo, the Nikkei closed down 238 points. In London, the FTSE is trading 28 points up. Gold is fetching $299.90 US an ounce. And the Aussie dollar, I should say, tonight, buying nearly 53 US cents, more than 60 euro cents, 69 yen and 37 pence. The national weather, and there's a trough stretching across the southeast of the continent. A high is in the Tasman and another one is moving across the Bight. Western Australia is being affected by a broad area of low pressure. The forecasts: morning showers in Darwin, fine in Brisbane, Sydney and Canberra, showers likely in Melbourne and Hobart, but fine in Adelaide and Perth. And that was the day. I'm Hugh Riminton. From all of us here at Nightline, have a good night.